Hey everyone, James from TeaDB here, bringing you a Inbetweenisode. Drinking some ripe today. So this is just the morning brew, and a cake I've been drinking through with my wife in the morning. This is the 2019 Yunnan Sourcing Last Laugh. Of course, 2019 was the year of the pig, so that's why we have that. This is kind of a little bit of a terrifying wrapper. If this was the wrapper of a horror movie, I would not be surprised. The movie poster of a horror movie, I wouldn't be surprised either. Some sort of pig revenge story or something like that. So, drinking this tea, Steeps number 5, and I will be making another one with this freshly brewed water. Sort of a woody nose. So I read a little bit about this tea beforehand, just on Yunnan Sourcing. So this tea, there was 1,200 cakes produced. I think that actually makes it on the larger end of Scott's productions. It sounds like it's a pretty large blend of six different types of ripe, probably ranging across different regions in different years. It may be possible to have a sort of fairly layered experience. It does sound a little bit kind of like Scott's impression each year, where he probably uses more than 6 types for that, but where he blends a bunch of raw together to make something. So I ordered a bunch of cakes from him on the slow boat, and this is the first one that I'm really getting to. So look for quite a few more episodes on some Yunnan Sourcing produced ripe from 2019. Cheers. So this brew is really heavily on the woody and creamy end of the spectrum. Taking a sniff of this, it's a fairly generic smell for ripe, probably a little bit more in the woody vein. Yesterday I was taking notes on my session, and the session was pretty heavy on the creaminess of it, and it was a very comfortable session, very easy to drink, great for a work tea. This session, though, it's a little bit more on the woody end of it, so I'd say it shifted from like 60% creaminess to maybe 40%, and then amped up the woodiness. So we're gonna give this another brew here, using about 9 grams or so for 250 milliliters. Again, very casual brewing style for this. Don't need to give it flash brews or anything like that. Very forgiving tea in general. Body is good, just kind of a big round creamy woodiness, I'd say, for this infusion. Scott noted in his notes that there was some fruit, not picking up on a whole lot of that here in either the aroma or taste. Definitely could be there in some other sessions. As noted, this is a pretty big blend, so depending on the contents of what ends up in your pot, you could end up with a fairly different brew. Similar aroma. Just sort of enriches the mouth, just with its sort of general sweetness. Just pleasant all around. A great, I'd say this tea fits pretty squarely into the not super challenging but really easy to drink category, which is pretty much what I tend to look for in ripes. I don't, if a ripe is too attention demanding, that's almost ends up being a reason why I would drink it less often. Ripes for me are just really casual brew, really smooth, really creamy, just a really comfortable way to drink tea throughout the day. So I think for the people that are, for me, it's not so much that like the complexity draws me to ripe. It's more that just the basic nature of the tea is just really easy to fit into my schedule, and I prefer it over black tea or oolong or something like that. Even though those categories may tend to be a little bit more complex depending on the tea. Cheers. Again, this is moving a little bit back towards that creaminess overall. So I'm picking up just a really soft. This is very much ready to drink. It's very clean. I'm not picking up on any nastiness, and that's been true. I mean, sometimes that can be a product of just having some of the later steeps here. I've been having this tea for the early steeps too, and it's pretty darn clean. So no complaints there. Yeah, I just say this is another solid ripe. You can have some different sort of sessions on it just because it's a blend. I don't think it's boring or anything like that. I think it's just solid drinking. So going to give this tea a 5.9 rating for the 2019 Last Laugh. And look out for some more Yunnan Sourcing ripe reviews here on this channel. Might also be typing up a report. These are pretty rare these days for me to actually type up reports because I'm just not doing enough comprehensive tastings to sort of do anything that's terribly interesting, but might write up something on the 7 or 8 Yunnan Sourcing teas that I'm currently drinking through. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to continue to enjoy and drink this tea, and I will see you all next time.